Hello, today I will be showing you how to create a transaction for a buyer in Transaction Desk. So we start on the agent dashboard in Transaction Desk, and this is just a demonstration, so I am using a random home address and fake names. And so what we want to do is go to the MLS and find our property address, and we're going to copy the MLS number, which we will use later on in the transaction. And so we go back to the agent dashboard and we find the widget that says transactions and create transactions, and we click that, and the layout for each agent could be slightly different because it's customizable. So the create a transaction button could be in a different spot than ours, but the naming convention for each file is as follows. So it is the agent initials dash B for buyer or S for seller. In this case, it's B for buyer. And then the property address, which will be 6 Silver Coast Street, and then dash. And then the last name of the buyer, so say Smith. And then the template will be the office buyer template. And then this is where our MLS number comes in. So we click GLVAR MLS and we paste our MLS number that we previously copied. And then down here it should say selling agent, and this box will be checked, and that's fine. We can check the box that says use wizard. And then we will create the transaction now. And so this will take you to the wizard page, which is here. And the information that we want to input will be in step 3, which is the contacts. And this is where we add in the buyer's info. So we click the add button, create new transaction contact, and the type will be the buyer. And the first name, let's say, will be John, last name will be Smith, and then the email will be 1234@mail.com. So we hit save, and then the buyer will now be added down here to the contacts. And if you want to, let's say there's another buyer in the transaction, you can add another buyer. So just create another transaction contact, another buyer. Let's say this one is Jane Smith. And then their email is here. So we hit save. And this sets up the buyer for electronic signatures if they're going to sign things electronically eventually. And so from there, once our buyers are put into the contacts, we can go down to save and exit. And this will take us back to the transaction dashboard. Again, this may look slightly different for everyone because it is customizable. But we're going to go over to the forms section, and if they are in the order in which we have them set up, they should be in order of how you are going to fill them out. So the duties owed in the residential purchase agreement are primarily what we will be filling out first. So we're going to click on the duties owed, and what we're going to do first is we're going to enter our license number. Make sure you enter your license number. And the buyer's names will already be in here, and the agent's names will already be in here. And what you want to do here is select if they're a buyer or seller, so we'll select buyer. And then here where it says, are there additional licensees involved in this transaction? If there are, if you're working with another agent who is helping you on the transaction, you would say yes and then fill out the supplemental duties owed form. But if not, just hit no and scroll down, and you can see if the agent's names are here. And then we can go up to File and Save. And then from here, we're going to access the residential purchase agreement. So we can do that from up here in Transaction Forms. And scroll down, it will be towards the bottom right here. And it flips the order of the forms from the transaction dashboard, but regardless, they are still the same forms. So we click the residential purchase agreement, and here in the residential purchase agreement, once it comes up, you go in and fill out all the information needed. Again, the buyer's names will be in there, as will the property address, but you just fill out the contract as normal, and then you can just file and save. And from here, if you want to eventually sign the contract, there will be a different video on how to sign contracts in transactions. But what we're going to do, because it's all saved, we're going to go back to the dashboard, and we're going to see here in transactions that the transaction is here, and that is all for the transaction. Thank you for watching. This is the first step to creating a transaction for a buyer. There will be other videos for creating transactions for a seller and for signing the contracts within the transactions.